What has Married to Medicine become? My God. It is so much going on. Why are the ratings low? They say the Married to Medicine this season had very low ratings. I don't know. Y'all formula ain't working. Y'all know y'all formula, child. Bringing somebody new in, driving them to drink and do other stuff, and driving them crazy, and the favorites being protected on the show, and the double standards, and certain people being able to get away with everything, and other people not being able to get away with nothing. Like, it's just old, y'all. Y'all gonna have to come up with something else to do on the Married to Medicine. But let's get into it, child. It's the whole fight scene. It wasn't a fight, but it was a scuffle, if you will. It would have been a situation. King done took off his shirt, child. He done threw it amongst the waves of the ocean. And you got Steven and Cecil trying to talk, and Shaq trying to hold Dr. G back and talk to him, child. Then you got Quad and Dr. Eugene holding King back. And then you got Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, Dr. Heavenly just standing around looking confused. And then you got Phaedra, Mimi, and Contessa hugging Sweet Tea, because Sweet Tea running up at King ready to square up. And Phaedra started speaking in tongue and started giving her a hug to try to calm Sweet Tea down. Then you got Simone making comments, making fun of the fact that Phaedra Parks is also a pastor as well. On the good old resume, child. She might as well be one. She's everything else, ain't she? And then Simone said something really silly. Hell, I ain't come to see the Easter Bunny anyway. What Mariah said, But Simone said something really silly. She goes, it's just so interesting how God is all of a sudden using Phaedra to speak in tongues, but he didn't use her to try to fix her relationship with Shireen and Apollo. What is there to fix? Shireen was the mistress, probably one of many, but she was the mistress in the relationship when she was with Apollo, and he ended up marrying her. And now they're getting a divorce. So clearly the problem is Apollo. But Phaedra don't owe Shireen nothing. If Phaedra hasn't talked to Shireen by now, and her and Apollo have been married for years, she ain't gonna never have a conversation with her. The boys be over there at the house with Shireen at, and Phaedra still don't have no conversation with Shireen. So why would she have one now? And furthermore, what's interesting is that Dr. Heavenly, she said on her YouTube channel that Shireen said even more crazy stuff. That Shireen even said that she was talking about the boys and stuff. So it's just very interesting, the double standards. I thought kids was off limits. It's just so funny on these shows that when you don't like a person, nothing is off limits. That's the gag. Absolutely nothing is off limits when you don't like somebody. So y'all sit there and allowed that woman to sit and allegedly talk about Phaedra's kids, and didn't nobody have nothing to say? Didn't nobody want to do the right thing? And y'all are shocked that y'all got that Mean Girls title? Y'all too old. Y'all too old, too old, too old. I'm too old. We all too old for the foolishness. Y'all keep trying to portray something that we don't, we know what we're looking at. Y'all even went far enough, Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly, to talk to Shireen and Apollo, trying to get dirt on Phaedra. Asking Apollo about Phaedra. Are you serious? I said, what am I watching? I was so confused. I said, okay. And he was just like, it's kind of a battle of the minds. Y'all are doctors, and she's a doctor of law. And so, and Heavenly was like, no, we see through her BS. And I was just like, oh, Phaedra's distant and whoop to whoop. Listen, I don't. Phaedra ain't perfect, ain't innocent by far. Lord knows, and we all know how Phaedra Parks is. But the way that y'all are handling her in the situation is just nasty work. And her calling y'all mean girls, y'all felt so offended by that. Y'all don't think that's appropriate? She could have said worse, and it would have been warranted. I can't. But let's continue to talk about it. So, what else is going on? I was just done. Dr. Jackie, she went to Phaedra's room. She's trying to convince Phaedra to stay and stuff. And Phaedra was just like, I don't do these kind of mean girls, and y'all can't do me. I expected more from you, Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie's acting obtuse and acting like whoop to whoop, like she don't know what's happening and what's going on, and whoop to whoop, and believe in everything that Heavenly says. And whether the producers set it up or not, I think it was a combination. I think it was a combination of Heavenly and the producers. And Heavenly keep trying to say, oh, well, I told Phaedra, so Phaedra knew Apollo was coming. And Phaedra tried to flip on Apollo to, but her thing was messed up because Shireen, however, I don't care. However, whatever, whoever did it, y'all been doing whatever the producers have been saying for years. Y'all had issues with taking any kind of direction from Mariah, but y'all will let these white men direct y'all to do whatever. Oh, but y'all did everything in y'all power to get Mariah out. A person who is just like y'all, who's the most similar to y'all, who brought y'all together, who created the show, another black woman, but y'all will listen to whoever over there at Bravo, Billy Bob and Peter them. Y'all are funny. That's so funny. Please keep driving by, whoever that is. My God, I'm trying to do a video. So anyway, let me see. What else is going on? All right. So we get to the next day. Dr. Simone tells the ladies that Sweet Tea will not be joining us. Dr. Heavenly said good. She should be gone. Let me see. The guys, they go to the cigar bar. The guys always have some boring activity. It's just so boring. Gosh. I'm glad that Steven and King is there because maybe they can liven them old birds up. Because I don't know. I'll be getting ready to go to sleep during the guys sing. But they talked briefly, and Dr. Damon agrees with King that he should have stepped in and said something to Quad. Dr. Damon's funny to me. I see who he is and I see how he moves. He thinks because he's quiet and because he stays out of the female drama that somehow he is put on a pedestal like he's better than everybody, or he doesn't have biases, or he somehow has no feelings about certain things. It's all BS. Every part of it. There's no way that he don't see all the stuff that Dr. Heavenly does. He just don't care. And if a man comments on it, how dare you? Even though Dr. Heavenly has called that man whatever name in the book. But just don't say anything to my wife. If your wife wasn't problematic, I wouldn't have a problem with that stance. If your wife wasn't antagonistic, I would not have a problem with that stance. If your wife did not start stuff, if your wife was not involved in 95% of all the drama on this show, I would understand that stance. But since that's not the case, I don't understand Dr. Damon. And the whole thing with Quad and King. Why did King not say anything to Quad? That whole thing could have been, it wouldn't have been a back and forth exchange. Like I said in a tweet at It's King's World on Twitter. Quad, she was going back, she started it with Dr. G and Sweet Tea. And I don't know why people are trying to, I'm not trying to justify everything that Dr. G has done to Quad. He's done some awful things to Quad. We saw how nasty and awful he spoke to Sweet Tea. I've never said that Quad was a liar in terms of how she treated, in terms of how Dr. G treated her or what he did to her, whatever. All I said was that night Quad was wrong because she was. But y'all sat around and urged it up and thought it was funny. That whole time, Quad and King did not even say anything to each other. As soon as they all met up, when they got off the plane, they didn't speak. So why speak now? She purposely turned around and started making comments at Sweet Tea, being funny. Sweet Tea wouldn't be offended by it because Sweet Tea wasn't married to Quad. Dr. G was. And she was saying a lot of stuff in reference to their marriage. King not one time said nothing to Quad. You can't tap your significant other on the shoulder and be like, all right, man, we're going to chill out, in a nice, respectful way. So when it comes to another man saying something to your wife, fine. But that husband can't say nothing to his wife either. So you can't say what you need to say to the person you lay beside every night. I don't understand that. I don't understand that mentality. I don't. Didn't Dr. Damon's tell Dr. Heavenly when she was getting ready to jump into the whole argument, told you to be quiet, and then, okay. So it's funny. It's the picking and choosing for me in this group, a child. The realest person on this show is Cecil. I like Cecil. Y'all got mad at Cecil for saying, mm-hmm. Y'all don't want the men to say anything. Why don't y'all just cut the men off and just have it be with the ladies on the show? Since the men can't even express themselves at all just because they were born male. Meanwhile, all this BS is happening in front of them, but they can't comment on it. That's just crazy. I don't understand it. Let me tell you something. There's only certain people that will make it on this show and in this group. This particular cast would never have an LGBT couple on it, ever. Because it's going to be so many times, because there's so many double standards and there's so many contradictions and there's so many times where you can't say nothing because of your gender. It is wild. Ain't nobody saying nobody got to fight. You don't even have to be disrespectful, but to tell somebody to not comment and don't say nothing, and I'm literally watching somebody getting bullied or I'm sorry, I wasn't raised that way. And I was raised by a beautiful, strong black woman who taught me don't start no, won't be no. Okay? You best to. What Mariah mama, what's her name? Mama Lucy told Toya, and Toya said, I'm going to respect my elders, with the whole fight thing. Lucy said, you best to. That's what you best do. Oh, God, I miss them. So anyway, shouts out to Mama Lucy. Let me see, what else is going on? Curtis, they sat around the circle. Dr. Mimi and Dr. Steven. Dr. Mimi and Steven, I like them. And they decided to do an exercise where the only person that could speak who had the bowl, Steven paid $5,000 for Quad's bowl that she got at Goodwill. And, for the charity thing and whatever. So they sat around and talked. Toya kept it a buck. She said, we are some mean girls. We have done some awful things. Toya seemed the most affected by Phaedra's calling them mean girls. I think that, and I don't know why, because normally Toya wouldn't care, but I feel like Toya actually don't like being called a mean girl for whatever reason. So she put the thing in, and I think Toya's more honest than mean. I'll say that. I think Toya's more honest than mean. I'll tell you, when Toya stood right there, when Phaedra was praying and Mimi and Dr. Contessa was hovering over Sweet Tea, and Toya was just sitting right there staring with them drinking her drink, I hollered and screamed. I said, Toya, you have to stop all this you doing. Toya Bush Harris. So they got around, and Dr. Mimi basically said if no exes need to be around. If each party has not done their individual healing, they don't need to be around each other. Clearly, I mean, anybody can see that. I mean, you didn't need a degree to see that while these people in the same room. So Dr. Heavenly admitted, she was just like, don't bring no exes around me. So I agree with that. We didn't consider your feelings, Quad, and whoop to whoop. Yes, you did, and you didn't care. You did it for a storyline. Stop you said you did. Oh, God, I can't take it. So I was just sitting back and looking at the stuff that's said on camera by Dr. Heavenly in particular, and the stuff that she said on her YouTube channel, and I just feel like, girl, you all over the place. And so Curtis brought up, he was just like, well, Dr. G is still a part of this group, and you can tell King didn't like that comment. And Quad was just like, I'm not saying throw him away, but just consider me and consider my feelings and whoop de whoop. I said, child. And so they're gonna try their best to get Phaedra back, but Dr. Simone, she's not interested in trying to get Phaedra back. So yeah, Dr. Simone really cares about these friendships. Bless her heart. So on the other side of town, back in Atlanta, on Peachtree Street, we see Dr. G and Sweet Tea, and they're talking, and Dr. G boosting his head up, saying, once again, running his mouth and can't fight, and was like, if Shaq wasn't there, Phaedra's dude, it would have been a problem, would have been a fight to the death and whoop to whoop. And Sweet Tea was like, no, it wouldn't have been, babe. And, because I had your back and blah, blah, blah. She was like, I was in the military, I'm combat trained. He started downplaying her, saying that you're a woman and you can't run up at a man. They went upstairs, got into it real bad. And he was demeaning her, talking down to her, all those things. It was awful. It was an awful scene. Dr. G, unfortunately, your days on the show is numbered. So, I don't know what to say. And everybody was like, I actually feel bad for Sweet Tea. Yeah, but look how y'all treated that girl. Look how y'all treated her. So, I mean, is it genuine? You feel bad for her, but you're not going to reach out. You still going to sit back and allow the stuff to happen, right? If you actually truly cared about somebody, you would say something, in my opinion. But y'all don't care. So, but Sweet Tea is Dr. G's load. Sweet Tea ain't scared of him. Sweet Tea got something for him. You hear me? I don't think she does. Sweet Tea got all them family members too. Dr. G, you might want to be quiet. That's why you almost got beat up on the beach. You might want to be quiet. I'm just saying. And to end this whole thing, I'm not saying that Quad didn't do stuff to Dr. G, and I'm not saying Dr. G didn't do nothing to Quad, but I'm just saying in that moment, Quad wanted her get back. Quad wanted to start some stuff, and she did. And so to think that Dr. G shouldn't have a reaction to a person that he was married to, a person that he feels like took advantage of him in a way and used him in a way, and Dr. Heavenly even agreed that she did on Sherelle's World on YouTube. They was talking to Sherelle, and Dr. Heavenly said that she did use Dr. G for a come up. And now I'm putting two and two together. When Mariah Huck was on Carlos King interview, she said that she cast Quad for the show while she wasn't married. She didn't know nothing about Dr. G. And because Quad was in a relationship with her first cousin. And then all of a sudden we get to filming and Quad is with Dr. G. I can respect Sweet Tea because Sweet Tea said she wanted to get access to the money. And she said that she was real and honest. She jumped in that man DMs and she know what she wanted. Okay? Quad was probably more subtle about it. But is it possible that Quad did the same thing to get access to the money? And furthermore, King is not married to Medicine still, and neither is Quad. So what we gonna do? With that said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google+. Follow me at @Skins on Instagram and Twitter, at @Skins89 on Snapchat, Chess King on Facebook, Mr. Chalaki on Cash App, PayPal, and TikTok. And as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.